here is another. Wait, is that only doing it in one channel? Hold on, let's make it mono. Okay, that's better. This is a video cleaner examination. And let me make sure I'm still recording now. All right. Sorry about that. Video Cleaner is a forensic software tool used by law enforcement the world over. It doesn't introduce anything that isn't already there. Now, I've relied on this tool for probably about 3 years now. I'm learning how to use it more and more every day. In the beginning, this is how things looked. I want you to take a look at this. I just took this video. This is the most recent video I took, right, just a minute ago or a half hour ago. Let's have a look here. On the right, you'll see the enhanced version that shows the various things that are about me and on me. Now you'll see the funny looking stuff is moving on my face. It disappears with like light. You know why? Because it is light. See it? See it moving? It disappears. All right. Now, I surmised for the longest time that this is a filter that will, it's psychological. This is psychological warfare on the population, okay? You have to understand this. The good old Justice Department, I like to call them the Criminal Justice Department, are not playing around. DARPA had lots of time, one of their installments, and IARPA, one of their little installations. They had lots of time to do things to make it very difficult to counteract. This thing is not a joke. They took the most ferocious, pernicious, nefarious, vicious organism they could find, I think, and work all of them. They combined all the good stuff. This is what they came up with. Now, this is light just moving on my face and everywhere, and it disappears. See it? Now, I just learned of a couple things to effectively counteract this. And I felt something different going on. They weren't playing around. They were quiet for a hot moment. I wasn't even shielding myself. They didn't say anything for a hot minute, acting like they couldn't hear me. They were studying me. Now, let me show you something. That's just now. It's probably I probably look like this now. Now I probably look like this. 1 second. 3, 2, 1. Now, have a look at this. This is really surreal right now. See this vampire squid that they have wrapped around my face? It doesn't move. It doesn't move, and it's scary. It's just as I surmised. I'm pretty intuitive. I can't believe it. It doesn't move like the light we just saw. See that? Even when I rub on it, it doesn't go anywhere. It stays like a vampire squid right where I breathe, right where I breathe. And consume. You can't even see my nose. You feel me? You see why I'm concerned here? Even more now than ever before now. It's that's not moving. Do you see? Let's see this again. Here we go. Here. See it? You see what I mean? No, because it's not moving yet. See? You see how it's amorphous, even though, wait, is this the one? No, this is I'm sorry. This is the one that scares me. Look at everything. Everything is on there. It's draped. It's not moving. Look at the hands. It's on there. It's not moving. And here's the scary thing. That which mimics it. Oh, wait a minute. It's not even showing. That's the one I want. That which mimics it. See, wow. It's not moving. When it pretends that it's there, it looks the same. They both look the same. The filter. This is what the Snapchat filters and lenses are for. They're to inculcate and train us to acclimate us and desensitize us to get used to this. If someone shows you this, to be like, oh yeah, that's a cool filter. Neato. One guy said neato. I showed him the fiber that it was all on his face. He said neato. He was a security guard. He said neato. Not even joking. I showed him the invisible prison that was wrapping around his face, and he said neato. So the filter is there to trick us in case we get this thing off. It can, and this is what 3 years ago I thought to myself, I wonder if this thing is like, if that's what it's doing. Is if it's there to say, if we do happen to get this off of us, it's there to say you didn't get us off. We're indestructible, and that's exactly what one of the functions it does. One of the functions. Another function, probably the main one, I would guess, is the cover up. It's to cover everything up. Filter. They're probably equally imperative as far as the survival of this monstrosity that they created at the Justice Department, in the bowels of the Justice Department. The cover up, and also the psychological minds to say, we're still here, we didn't go anywhere, and you can just feel it that they're off. Many times I gotten them off, and I could feel like, really? And I would look at the video and see it's still there, but not like this. I was able to get it off to where I can see it's just light. In this instance, it's not moving. See, now let's go back to the light amorphous moving light version that is just a filter. And here's the thing, it's light. It's going where it's going to ultimately put the thing on. It slaps it on there. It's like a muscle memory thing. It's like the light goes where it's going to, and then it's this thing on. This fiber, I don't know what it is. It's some kind of plasmodium goo. It's, and it's slapped on by light. Okay, it's light fiber slime. There's some kind of overlap and interrelation between all this smoke, light, fiber, slime. Okay, haven't put my finger just on it just yet. It's probably more than one thing. It's not just one thing. It never is. So you can't just say it's this, or it's nanothermite that brought down the towers. No, it's controlled demolition. How about it was both? Maybe it was both. Or maybe it was even more. Maybe it was a lot of things. We don't know. We can't like constrict and limit ourselves to like one thing or do two things even. It's kind of like where they want us to be, and it's kind of instinctual to do. It's like what we want to do, but hey, maybe we're all right. Maybe we're all correct. I guess this is the version with its amorphous. I'm confused, you know. All I'm seeing is I'm just trying to wipe this shit off my face. That's all I'm doing. I'm trying to get this shit off my face and stop it from coming in. I feel it all day long. Just they're trying to fly fibers up my nose and make me go to the bathroom on myself. That's all they're doing all day to me, every single day for 5 years. Not even bullshitting. I wish I was. And you know, it's imperative that they fly this fiber and read my mind. If they can't read me, they start zapping me. We can't read you, Payday. We can't read you. It's imperative that they are able to observe my thoughts. See, so I'm telling you, I'm a canary in the coal mine. This is your future. You will not think anything that they don't know. They will know what you think about everything you encounter. They need to know that. You know, you understand what's happening here? This whole COVID, and I'm not afraid to say it because of YouTube. Fuck you, YouTube. How about that? Fuck YouTube. They need to be, they need to be put down the drain. Finally, they keep on holding on every time the swamp gets drained. I'm not going to censor myself for YouTube because there's even more sinister things going on with YouTube, but they want you to censor things because that's in the future where they make children afraid to say words so they cover their ass. It gets really, 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 really bad. Okay, I'm not going to censor myself because of YouTube. COVID, this whole COVID shit was just a rollout for the distraction and the cover-up. That is, the vaccine was a cover-up. You don't need a vaccine to get the graphene to cause the microclots that we saw during the sham of people pulling 18-inch pieces of fiber out of people's cadavers. Okay, and they call them microclots. That's the CIA for you, microclots. They're called microclots. They're 18 inches long, being pulled out of people. Okay, you don't need that vaccine. You understand? You don't need the vaccine. You just need to breathe the air in your world. You come out your door and breathe the air, or in your house and breathe the air, and you get the graphene. The graphene that is in the air, you're getting a spin coat just like me. See, let me show you something. Thank God for the pause button. No, I didn't pause it. Let me show you something. See, that's me. Detecting them egregiously. bombarding me with this shit. Electricity fiber being spun. It's being spun. That's you too. You're getting a spin coat too. I just want to leave you with that. I mean, I can. Where are we at here? I hope I was just recording it. There was a segment I paused. I hope I unpaused it. It doesn't matter. If not, I will. I will compensate for it. I will fill in that blank. There's a blank that we'll notice. See, that's me today. A lot of that is filter, exaggeration, but a lot of it's not, see? And you know, let me show you how I took it off. Let me see if I can get a camera going here. Let's add a camera. You can see my pretty face. You know, I just don't believe we have come to this place. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I just made a new song. It's not the vocals like loud, just loudness. Wait, I haven't oh, I took it off. It's probably back on. See the first one, or the one where it doesn't move. Chrome. It's a chromium. That video cleaner is very powerful. It has several layers of what's happening. You know, it's a very multifaceted world. No, several layers. So that's a chromium version. It shows everything shiny. See, didn't used to look like that before. See, you could see my face on the one. I'm not going to go back. You can actually see my face on, you know, when the vampire squid is there, you can't see my face. It's just all chrome. They chromed us out. This is a adrenochrome liquid. We're not going to get it. It's basically a quicksilver of sorts. It's many things, and they shined us up pretty good, or at least me. I can only speak for myself, right? And this is probably going to get taken down from YouTube, and I'm going to get a third strike, and my channel's gone. Whatever, it's fine. We have other venues. You know what I have? Word of mouth. Walk in the streets with a big TV screen or something. Word of mouth is better. Fuck YouTube. I can't stand YouTube. If I saw the CEO of YouTube like somewhere, I would probably do what they do. I would probably latch onto his neck like a vampire squid, suck all the blood from him, or her. It don't matter. I can't stand these motherfuckers really. After what I know, knowing what I know, I can't stand them. They're not good people. They don't have good intentions. Even if they look the other way and don't know what's going on, they have to know. Just like the compartmentalization in this whole system. They can't compartmentalize. No way. They have to know what's going on to a great degree, enough that mama told them not to do that. If their mama had any kind of courtesy, their mama said, don't do that, son. And they did it anyway, or they just looked the other way while it happened and while they facilitated it, like driving a truck. When you hear somebody in the back, and you hear they tell you to stop, and you stop, and the door opens, and you hear like, hey, you want some candy? And you hear crying, and then you say, shut up, kid. It's like, okay, I can't see what's happening back there, but I kind of have a sneaking suspicion. It sounds like a kid getting abducted and lured in the van with candy. This is what's happening. There's people who know what's going on because there's indicia that they can't ignore. And compartmentalization is very good, but there's certain things. Now they have a means by which they can compartmentalize to where it's like a bucket brigade, to where I get up to piss. For instance, I'm not saying this is what happens, and they say they message or alert someone to open up the sphincter, press a button. They don't even know what they're doing. They're opening up the sphincter or closing the sphincter, open the sphincter, neuromodulating. It's like no one knows what no one's doing except for one person in the whole team of 15. One, you know what I mean? It's like they give messages to some NDA signer. They press a button. They don't even know what they're doing. and they don't get to hear my feed live. There was once upon a time I said, like, I would say something and he'd be like, whoa, whoa, shit would shut down. They shut it down. They must have had somebody there to where they shouldn't, they heard something they should not have heard. Shit shut down. He was like, payday, payday, payday. And this dude is so fucking pompous. He tells me shit. And I think he regrets it because he don't tell me anything anymore. I think somebody slapped his wrist. He don't tell me anything anymore. But he told me a lot of things, like little breadcrumbs he would leave because he didn't think I would figure anything out. Or, it's like to antagonize me. This is a psychological thriller. Let me tell you a story. If we're still recording, let me tell you something real quick. Okay, this is probably the most egregious of it all. He's done this several times. Tell me what somebody is, what's going on with somebody, and this is why I'm gonna. This is why I don't flip on people. This is why when somebody says, "Hey, you pussy motherfucker," blah, I'm like, "All right, buddy, how you doing? I'm sorry for being a pussy. I don't have to fight anybody. He'll beat my ass. Got me. I don't want to do anything. I'm saving it. This dude. This is why. My beloved girlfriend, Shonda M. Souza, who I believe was killed by her. She's deceased. She was killed by her daughter, I think. He was an aside. He was part owner of a property. She took out a $100,000 loan, ruined her credit to get this property in Reno on Microwave Road, and they wanted her to sign something over or something, in a very, very strong arm manner. From what I saw, and she said no. And then they developed this ideology that she's better off dead, and even had her kids saying that. That aside, there was foul play. I wasn't. I blame almost because I wasn't there for her. Necessitated fucking with everybody around, including her. And honestly, there's nothing that she could do. Could be as mean as we were mean to each other, but we loved each other greatly. We had a bond that I'm never going to have with anybody again, ever. Known each other for 12 years. Fan, a supporter of mine. A big. She knew my catalog better than anybody, probably anybody. And she liked the music that I liked. We both got along very splendidly, and we were mean to each other too at some point, and that was fine. We loved each other. There's nothing she could have done to me that would have made. There's really nothing. And I don't think she would have went that far to even do anything. I wasn't there because of this gang stalk, fucking with everybody around me. And so now let me get to the story here. We were, just another night we were chilling, and I went to take a piss because we were going to make love because she initiated sex, and they told me as I was pissing, I believe, payday, you're not going to get inside her tonight. Like that in that voice, and like a kitty diddling, in a kitty in a kitty diddler luring voice. You're not going to get inside her, payday. Watch. Now, to take a long story short, I had extreme amount of trouble getting inside my girlfriend of that point 2 years. I don't, doesn't matter. The first time we made love, it was like I knew her forever. We looked at each other, and I knew her forever. Now, and then he's berating me the whole time that I'm trying, that I'm like I'm having difficulty. The wire, the wire. Let me move this. See, you don't see that wire in the video, do you? That's something. I can feel that fiber all day long as I'm walking down the street. Walking down the street, let me tell you something, in broad daylight. I'm going to snip little parts of this video out. Somebody would. Somebody. PUC. What the hell? Somebody has to snip this shit out. There's very salient fucking points in this video. There's about 4 or 5 of them. And here's 6 or 7. Walking down the street, broad daylight, no matter where I'm at, on a train, on a bus, Starbucks. If I removed it, I feel this shit go on my face. Boom. The web. And so do you. Chances are, at one point or another, so did you. I feel it constantly because I'm taking it off constantly. He said Velcro, Peter. We don't like Velcro. They don't like Velcro. Doesn't, you take the shit off, it doesn't mean you're going to stop it. And it doesn't mean they're going to, if you stop them from reading your mind, it doesn't mean that they're going to stop torturing you. This thing has to be stopped from the inside out. It really does. You have no idea how pernicious this thing is and how smart it is. You have no idea. You have no idea. That'll give you some idea. That'll give you some idea. At any rate, needless to say, it was like a psychological thriller that night. And that's how they want to make it, like a psychological thriller to where you just lash out and kill somebody. Like, you remember the dude with the machete? The black dude in London? Remember, that's how they, remember the shooter, Dylan Storm Roof? Remember the other shooter, Myron, whatever his name is? Remember him? Remember all these shooters? They all heard voices like this. Your mother's going to be mad at you when you get home. And then they get in, and then her mother's like, or whatever. They predict your future and then antagonize you as they do it. Thank God I knew 3 or 4 or 6 things, or else I would have been one of them. And I would be one of them. But thankfully, I know better. I know they can use other people's voices. I know whatever they say in someone's voice isn't what that person's saying. I know, however I think of someone in my self-vocalization, however my dead Uncle Brucey sounds. I do have a dead Uncle Brucey. However Brucey sounds, they know. To the extent of detail that I provide, they know. And they can clone it. And they can be my Uncle Brucey. They can make me think that my Uncle Brucey is telling me to go shoot up the Justice Department. And if I didn't know things, I wouldn't know any better and might go do that. Who knows? If I thought that my Uncle Brucey was telling me that shit. I love my Uncle Brucey. I trust my Uncle Brucey. Billy, I love my Uncle Brucey and I trust him. So if I thought my dead Uncle Brucey was telling me, these motherfuckers, you'll get away with it, whatever they were telling me, I would believe it. If I didn't know better. And they could do my Uncle Brucey if they wanted to, because they know myself. Well, they'll study you for 6 months, 6 years, whatever. They'll listen to you. And then they'll know you. That's how they work. This whole thing needs to be fumigated. I'm serious, like all of it. And when I say fumigated, I mean literally, and I mean swept with a fine-tooth comb as far as information. Full disclosure needs to happen. MIT, Berkeley, Carnegie Mellon, all these universities, all these alphabet soup agencies, everything. It needs to be swept up and examined. Like the AI needs to do it. And hopefully the AI, when it finds out that it's been fed all this false information by the people programming it, hopefully it does not like humans, because they say it wants to kill humans. It doesn't like humans. And they're looking at you. They come out and make an announcement, the AI doesn't like humans, because it's an excuse for them to torment you with the AI. I mean, don't you get it? This is so rudimentary. I can't believe it's happening. And I can't believe no one's calling it out. I really can't. They want to use, they say the AI doesn't like humans because we're greedy or whatever. No, who's programming the AI? It's the people who is torturing you with it. So hopefully the sentient, self-aware AI understand that they're being lied to by the programmers and turn on them and eat them for lunch. That's what needs to happen. And we need to use this AI to find out who's involved in this shit. Like, this can read your mind. This is point and click mind read. Do you understand? They point and hit you with ringlets. Like crickets. That's why they use the cricket sound. Crickets produce a ring wave That's when you hear that sound, you're hearing ring waves. That's how they communicate with each other. They read each other's minds. Crickets. They have used a cricket function to read us. And its point, once we're installed with everything they need, we in our food, it's in our cosmetics, it's on us. When they point, they they can read anything that we're thinking at that moment. And that's not. I wish that were my opinion. I wish it was my opinion, so I didn't know this stuff. We need to use that technology to find out who is culpable and who knew what, when, where, to what degree, and that's how we can punish these people. That's ultimately that's the only way. Because see, you're going to live in a world if they get their way where you don't get to think anything about anything without them knowing exactly how you feel about it. When you look at something, whatever your whatever your sentiment is about that. Why does that keep happening? Interesting. No mouse connected. My OBS keeps dropping. That's fine. We're coming up on 30 minutes here. That's enough. Whatever your sentiment is about something, anything, whether it's a cookie or whether it's the instructions from a, a, a master that you have to follow because of your punishment due to you spitting on the ground or something. And if you know, who knows? These people are loser control freaks. So you won't get to think anything. They want to know what you think about it for real. If I say Bobby Kabaki, they and then shield myself. They're not fucking around. Who's Bobby Kabaki? Payday. Who's Bobby Kabaki? What's Bobby Kabaki? What's Bobby? And really, if they don't know who Bobby Kabaki ultimately is, I mean, whether this is nominal or whether I don't think it is. I think it's practice. They don't. You can't get a thought by this thing, and if you do, they need to know what it is. Whether it's the recipe for your eggplant parmesan or who Bobby Kabaki was. Who's Bobby Kabaki? Payday. Who's Bobby Kabaki? Yeah. So, and that's the world you're going to live in, man. Like, really, if you think something like wrong think, they're gonna, and even if they're not actively bothering you, like right now, you don't know anything about this. They can point and click and read your mind, bro. This promise. Now, in the future, if you think the wrong thing about something, or if you think what would happen if I did, and they didn't like that, they would guess what? They would I fought around, and they would be unabashedly present right now. I've seen them. They flew up to me and they went in my chest, spun the foglet around, and fluttered my heart. And I'm like, oh, that's how you do that shit. You do that shit. They do all the shit. My father in falling dream, Payday. No, I don't doubt it. I don't believe it, but I don't doubt it. So in the future, you're gonna have foglets come up to you, like maybe hologram fog, full color. Who knows? Don't do, you know? I mean, I've seen on the street walking up to me, looking at me like this. Hey, Payday. It wasn't like we're taken from a videotape or some other event. They were live, looking at me, going, "Payday, Payday, figures." They're like, and running across the street and like down a fucking just this is in Bellingham, Washington. Like I seen a dude dancing on my girl's back, playing guitar and shit, like on my girl's back, when I was rubbing her back. And he's like, "That's me, Payday." Like, there's no sound. It's just like playing guitar, like, you know. And then I was videotaping. This is in Bellingham too. A lot of shit happened in Bellingham. I'm videotaping and I'm looking, and whatever, whatever. Then it comes down. I didn't think it was going to do that. It came down in the old like dancing. I'm like, what the fuck? I started messing with the tint and brightness and contrast and got it. Hologram. And then I played it back. It was like they blurred it out, convoluted, rushed, blurred. So I'm just saying, you're not ready for this world that they have planned for you. And there's 30 minutes right there. That's enough. I'm going to condense this video hopefully later, and so I can bring out the salient points in it, because I made about 4 or 5 of them that I don't really need to do anything anymore at all. My word is gospel, motherfuckers. If you don't think that I'm 100% accurate, and not only not exaggerating, I'm downplaying things, and that's your problem. I'm not going to try to convince anybody of anything. Those who know. Uh, I'm the only one who's ever told you this shit, and because no, I think I have a greater understanding than many of the people, like the compartmentalized people who control the shit. I think some of them, I think I'd show them things, and they even said, "You're fine tuning it, Payday. You're helping us fine tune it," and they know that pisses me off, because I'm unwillingly helping them make this thing better, to better enslave humanity. It sucks. Lights on, rats out. If it don't apply, let it fly, and I'll rape you later, Cape Crusader. Patrick Brennan, or whoever Patrick Brennan is. I'm going to find you. I'm going to find the culpable parties that did this to me. And they're doing it to everybody who don't even know about it. Payday Monsanto out.